Super Bowl analysis. We're now within a week of Super Bowl 50, and we will now focus on different Super Bowls. We're going to start soon with Super Bowl 48, and I tell you, this is gonna be spectacular analysis. You got first you got Dan Marino back there in the Miami Dolphin cap for Dan Marino. He was 0-1 in Super Bowl. It's the only thing I had that says Super Bowl on it. I'm going to use it up there as our background, and it's Seattle versus Denver. Super Bowl 48. Now let's set this up. Let's try to set this as quickly as possible. Denver is coming into that Super Bowl with one of the great offensive years ever. Peyton Manning threw for 55 touchdowns, a record. 5,400, a record. They scored over 600 points. Again, a number one offense, but a historically number one offense, and they're going against and by the way, that's Manning's third Super Bowl. The first two in Indianapolis. Now he's hitting the Super Bowl with Denver. He's got Demaryius Thomas. He's got Welker. He's got Julian Thomas as a tight end and Eric Decker. That's four good receivers. Running game, medium. Peyton Manning always mixes in the running game because of how good the passing game is. Their running game feeds off that and does well. But they're going against a number one defense. They're going against a Seattle Seahawks defense. It's not only number one statistically, but they're a hard-hitting defense. They're a cocky bunch, brash. They're going to come up and challenge you. They're confident in their abilities as led by, we'll call the leader Richard Sherman. He's the brashest of them all. He's got that cockiness. I'm not going to call him arrogant. We'll call him cocky, bordering on arrogant. Again, they'll challenge you and they'll talk about it and they'll tell you we're going to stop you. And I would think, again, just strategically, I would think they're, now this is Peyton Manning after the surgery on that fusion stuff on his neck. But now he's better, more arm strength than he has right now going into Super Bowl 50 as I make this video. Right now his arm strength is pretty much shot. At this point, Super Bowl 48, he had arm strength, but not as much as he had in his Indianapolis days. He has had the surgery. So again, I would think Seattle's going to move up. Again, they're brash and confident. We could cover you one-on-one. We'll hit you at the line. We'll take away your short game. We'll smack the heck out of Demaryius Thomas, out of Wes Welker on the crossing patterns, on the bubble screens. We'll take away all that short stuff that Denver loves to do, that Peyton Manning loves to do. And you want to burn us deep? Go ahead and try. They got Chancellor in that second. That's the secondary of Seattle is tremendous. You got Chancellor, Sherman, Earl Thomas, hard hitting, and the fourth guy. I say Browner. There's another guy they had, and I can't. His name is slipping my mind, but it's one of the best. That's their strength of the team is the secondary. Okay, remember they're all healthy. 49 is, if you don't mix up, 49 is when the secondary was not healthy against New England. But there's a Seattle bunch. By the way, the front seven, very athletic. Don't picture the guys that if you're watching this in 2016, a lot of the guys that are on the defensive line there are not. Defensive line here in 48 are not here now. I mean, they got Clemens, Averill, Red, the guy in his first name is Red, which slips my mind. Again, name slipped my mind. But it's a Red Bryant. But it's a different set. They've been able to replace the front line and go with different guys. The linebackers also. The guy is going to end up being MVP, Malcolm Smith. They didn't even keep for the next year. He was like the fourth linebacker. They don't even have him now. The one who was the MVP of this game that we're about to watch. So they've replaced guys in the front seven, but it's an athletic bunch. Their key is the secondary, and let's pick up the action. And I'm going to show you the kickoff. Let's go start with the kickoff. Now, why am I wasting your time with the kickoff? You'll see in a second. As Holiday, a very good special team returner, gets only to the 13. Now, again, why did I show you that? Well, where was this game played? You remember where it was played? Yes, it was not sunny California. It was not sunny Florida. It was not a dome New Orleans or a dome in Houston. This is New York City. Yeah, New York. That's right. You hear my New York accent? We're playing in New York. And I mentioned that because, first of all, it's a little bit colder. Peyton Manning don't like the cold. But New York crowds are going to be a little bit more raucous, a little bit more loud. And they're starting on the 13-yard line, which is close to the end zone. And this is Seattle playing, so a lot of the fans are going to be in. Are going to be Seattle fans, and they're going to try to create that 12th man atmosphere that they have back home in Seattle. So they're going to try to be loud to begin with. Seattle fans are pretty loud. They've got records for how loud they get there. All right, they're playing in New York. By the way, Joe Namath and Phil Simms were the ones that flipped the coin. Namath, remember, was almost actually flipped it up in the air before Seattle got a chance to make the call. The referee had to catch it. But we're in New York. We're near the end zone, a loud crowd near the end zone, and Seattle fans are pretty loud to begin with. So let's watch this first play, and Peyton Manning. You saw some, I don't know if you caught those stats there. Listen how loud it is. I got you a little closer there. We have the safety call. It's 2-0.
Illegal motion. Offense number 18 moving toward the snap. Penalties declined.
Right? Because Peyton Manning was moving forward. That's a penalty. Can't have anybody moving forward the snap, but that's not a dead ball foul. It doesn't stop the play. 2-0. Peyton Manning admitted after the game that it was because of the noise that he should have gone to a silent snap count. He admitted he should have gone to a silent snap count. And therefore, we're going to put the blame for the 2-0 on it. Am I going to say that on him? Am I going to say that that's the reason why they lost? Obviously not. It ended up 43-8 here. That's off to an auspicious start in the words of Clyde Frazier. And we pause. Okay, I love that pause button. One of my aims here is to show just how bad Peyton Manning was in this game. And Mike Francesa was going on and on the next day from WFAN about how, he had no time. He was getting, they were just all over him. Well, I'm going to demonstrate otherwise, that before this game got out of hand, it was just Peyton Manning, poor decisions, bad play. Okay, now I'm looking at my notes here. Now, I go right to the videotape. Now, we're going to utilize the way it was shown on your telecast, but I'm also going to use that Coach 22. I'm not going to only use Coach 22. I noticed Coach 22. I love it, but it's a little bit small, so let's watch it on both. We're going to get both. Wait a minute, pause. We're not going through every play like I did and some other things. We're just going to show the first few drives. By that time, the game's going to be out of hand, and just show you Peyton Manning with the ball against the Seattle defense, the number one offense versus the number one defense. And Peyton Manning, it's already, I should point out, it's already 5-0 at this point, as you see up here. Because after the safety, Seattle gets the ball back. They came down and got a field goal. By the way, notice I'm focusing none whatsoever on when Seattle had the ball. That's for a different SALT production. Right now, focusing on Peyton Manning, number one historical offense versus Seattle, number one defense. Start with a little handoff, Moreno. 3 yards. Okay. 606 points. 76 touchdowns total for the team. I mean, we're talking historical. Can picture Okay. So Manning back to pass. He had time. Did you notice he had time? Yeah, I noticed he had time, and he threw it over the middle. And Demaryius Thomas got smacked. I think there was some points made after the game that the receivers admitted they were intimidated by his hard hitting. That's Chancellor. Let's watch the replay of that one.
He's looking it up. He's expecting the crossing routes. Demaryius Thomas, they cover everybody up well on the outside. He's coming underneath.
3rd and 5. Big moment in the game. Let's see how Peyton... I would call it a big moment because you don't want the game to get out of hand. Do they have time? Oh, yeah, plenty of time. Look at that. Peyton Manning has time. Oh, wait, now, even when he had a shuffle to the left, there's still time. That's called time. That's a typical quarterback move, especially for a Hall of Fame quarterback who senses pressure from that side. So he just shifted to the left a little bit. Still time. Throw it short. Okay, so now we don't have the coach 22 to see if anybody was open. So you say, well, I can't blame him there. So we're gonna have to go to the coach 22. That's where I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna use my high tech pause here. Ding, we're back. Look at that, coach 22. Now it's a little bit smaller, but by the way, they started on the 35-yard line here because the touchback, there was a personal foul while running down. They decided to smack one of the Broncos, give him 15 yards. So he gets to start at the 35, down 5-0. And check that back here is Earl Thomas. So it looks like a one deep safety for that play. That's a cover one. Man-to-man over there. 3 receivers for Denver over here. That's man. That's Chancellor sneaking up. Chancellor likes to get near the line. He's a hard hitter. He's playing up. Thurman, that's the other guy's name. Thurman just came to me, the name. I think that's Thurman. But anyway, no. And over here, we got another, again, since they have 3 receivers, I think Browner is the other one. Anyway, I don't know who the second and third, who can recall the names. Just know that the secondary is fantastic for Seattle. And wait, the angle is, let me keep your angle here. Here we go. With the handoff. Remember, right? The first play was a handoff. We're watching all 3 plays over just now on this important drive. Only got 3 yards out of that. Well, wait, I went too fast. Okay, here we go. Now, wait a minute. Now, here, all of a sudden, I'm pointing with my arrow. Check my arrow. Chancellor's back here. Thomas. So they're a little bit further back. They got the man-to-man here. And man over here, Sherman. You got your foots again. 3 receivers for Denver. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 linemen, 2 linebackers for Seattle. But they're playing 2 safety here. Check that out. 2 safety back. We didn't get to see that. And remember I said, he had time here, and this was that little, this is going to end up being that little, the second down was a little crossing pattern to Demaryius Thomas. He's going to get smacked. Now, again, I don't expect Peyton Manning to see this. You hear that? I don't expect Peyton Manning. What do you mean I don't expect Peyton Manning to see it? He sees everything. But, I mean, this call, he's waiting for Thomas. That took a while for Thomas to finally get over the middle. By that time, he should have been able to find an open guy. But remember, they were playing deep safeties here. These were the 2 deep safeties. By this time, Thomas has gone all the way back. So it was really 1 deep safety kind of. And I'm calling this 2 safety, not, because here comes Chancellor up. So should Peyton Manning have seen this? That's what I mean by you should have seen it up and then boom. I don't know if you all saw that because it's pretty small, but Chancellor's came out of his second safety position to come up. I don't know if that fooled Peyton Manning. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm not blaming him for anything there. Just pointing out that he had a lot of time. He had a lot of time to find an open receiver. And right now, we got ourselves a 3rd and 5. Okay? We want one more play. And here we go. And it's on. We're on the coach 22. Back to pass. Time again. Remember I pointed out there was time? Now here, they're playing 2 deep safeties again. Right? 2 deep safeties again. But this time, are they staying deep? Well, here, this one moved up. Right over there. You see that? That one moved up. Let me pause for a second. Okay, so one of them moved up. But now what do we have in the coverage here? Cover man here. Cover man here with Sherman. Actually, we have double over here because the linebacker moved out here. All right, anybody open for Denver? Nobody. Oh, wait. Remember, he had a chance to shuffle. And he's got one open there. I wouldn't say he should be able to see him, but here's where the problem with Peyton Manning is. Watch this. Right there. For a second, there was a man. I don't know if you caught that. But that's, I'd say, Peyton Manning 3 and out. His fault there. will continue. S.A.L.T. Productions.